Nakitlong ka Ri Khasi. Ngiwan lam shapi ko sngur bakhuit patpashngem. Ka beats aqua. Shpausnem dang yai pinja sliang.
Menteri rang ba ka jylla Konrad ke sangma, ulong bakam de ke Basuk, ban khang Kynsan, ya ka kamti bat khai Dewïong ka bade ka pliang ja, jong kilak teli kilong yeng ka jylla, henry hak ban thau shwa, da ki we kilat bakin la ban trebiang ya ka kam, kumda ka sarkar kelawan ra da ka we kalat, ka bade ka scientific mining, manumti bat harsho yu Dewïong, na ka benta ban shngain ka mariang bat kinong tre Dewïong, ulong bah ka sarkar ki kendon an, kilong ibadan kam, bat Haba yo Jingtip ke Jingtih bat khai Dewïong Beaiñ, la Shim kam mar da ka bakhang sundon ya kipar Dewïong Beaiñ, balakem rubun ngut kipriu bat kanang beteng ban Shim kam. Konrad ulong ba haringkan ke jingbut iki kendon an, hap ru ban sngoto ke jing shakta, namar kam de ke Basuk ya kito ki balaem da ka kamti Dewïong da ki spas nam ban pa Sangeh Kynsan, bat benram ba ya kane baro ki de ban sngoto lang.
So I have repeated this maybe 100 times, so you can always go back to your videos and you can see two things out here. 2014 and before, for 200 years, the mining was done in the way, rat hole mining or tunnel mining, whatever you call it. And lakhs of families were involved in this. And suddenly you come and say that, oh, the same thing which was okay and legal for 200 years is from tomorrow illegal. Obviously, it's a big shock to everybody and the people, and especially the miners. So therefore, it takes time for them to come out of that mode where livelihood is dependent, their lives, the families are dependent on that, other businesses are dependent on it. And therefore, it's not a very simple thing. Why I'm saying this is because it's very easy today just to say, oh, it's illegal. And for 200 years it was legal. And suddenly one day somebody wakes up and said, oh, it's not legal anymore, it's illegal. Question is it fair for the person who is on the ground, earning his or her livelihood and supporting his or her family, and suddenly saying that it's illegal tomorrow? But whatever it is, it was done. Now in that whole process, all the government machinery, police, legal, everybody has been involved, the judiciary been involved, trying to implement this mandate that was put in, which as I said is very complicated, keeping in mind the history of 200 years. So to answer to your question is very simple, is that whenever there have been cases where we have been given information about facts that mining, illegal mining has been happening, the government has acted. Thousands of cases have been filed, thousands of charge sheets have been done, and many actions and fines have been made, many mines have been closed down. So action is happening. But as I said, one has to remember and realize and that this thing that we call illegal was legal before, and suddenly one day just to get up and it says illegal. It is not so simple for people to just simply go away. For livelihood to be sustainable in the long run, alternatives have to be given to people. Now, if you want an alternative to mining, then you have to come up with scientific mining. Now, that process is on now. We are seeing that transition from rat hole mining to a scientific and a safer mining happening. It's going to happen today, tomorrow? It can't. It takes time because people have to invest, people have to adapt, people have to file for different procedures, get the permissions from Delhi, from Coal Ministry, from CMPDIL, from Government of Meghalaya. So it is going to take time. But the important point is we are in that direction. We are moving towards that phase. And while we move and transition into a phase of having a more safer mining system and the transition of having more scientific mining system, there will be certain issues and cases that will come up. There could be certain incidents. But as a government, as I said, for us, the rule of law is important. And therefore, we do implement it. Whenever we get information, we act on it. We have closed down many mines and we have filed cases against many people and will continue to do that. But I think, as I said, while we look at the administrative and the legal aspect and judicial aspect to it, we also need to realize the social aspect, the livelihood aspect, and understand the humane side of why this is happening, and understand that though it is desirable to be able to completely switch off, it is practically not so simple for individuals who have been, having the livelihood dependent on the mining for hundreds of years, families and generations later, suddenly telling them that you cannot do this, you cannot live your life. I mean, you cannot, support your family through this. You have to stop this. So it is that humane side which I think the people should understand, the press should understand, and everybody involved should understand. What is important for us to see is that slowly and steadily we should find the alternative, and hopefully we'll be able to find a situation where we are able to now, in the coming days and years and months, that we'll have a safer system for the miners and a safer system for the overall environment also.